Hello, everyone. Today, we will talk about learning English. Learning English can be fun and easy if you follow some steps. Let me share some tips with you. First, listen to English every day. Listen to songs, stories, or even the news. Listening helps you learn new words and how to use them. Next, practice speaking. Don't worry about making mistakes. The more you speak, the better you get. Speak every day. Also, reading is important. Start with simple books. Books with pictures are great. As you read, you learn new words and understand them better. Writing is another good way to learn. Start writing small things like about your day or your family. Writing helps you use the words you know. Watching English videos is also helpful. You can watch cartoons or shows. When you watch, you hear how people speak and learn new words. Talking to others is a great way to practice. If you have friends who speak English, talk to them. If not, you can talk to people online. They can help you. Be patient with yourself. Learning English takes time. Don't give up. Keep trying, and you will get better. Use a dictionary. It helps you understand new words. When you don't know a word, look it up and try to use it. Playing games in English is fun. There are word games and puzzles. They can help you learn without feeling like studying. Try to think in English. At first, it's hard, but it will help you practice. The more you think in English, the easier it gets. Set small goals. For example, learn 5 new words a day, or read 1 page of a book. This will keep you focused and motivated. Review what you learn. Go over your notes or listen to the same story again. It helps you remember and see how much you've learned. Stay positive. Learning English can be hard, but if you stay positive, you will get better. Believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Learn from them and keep going. Enjoy the process. Learning English is a journey. Have fun with it. The more you enjoy it, the easier it becomes. Finally, surround yourself with English. Listen to English music, watch movies, and read English signs. The more you are around English, the more you will learn. Repeat what you learn. Repetition helps you remember better. Don't be afraid to repeat words or sentences. This will make you more confident. Learning English can be fun and easy if you follow these steps. Keep practicing, and you will get better every day. Chapter 2. When I started learning English, I felt nervous. I didn't know any words. It was hard to understand people who spoke English. But I didn't give up. Every day I tried to learn something new. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Slowly, I began to understand more and more. One of the first things I did was listen to English. Listening to English helped me a lot. At first, I didn't understand many words, but I still listened. I listened to songs, stories, and even the news. When you listen to English, you can hear how words are used. You hear how sentences are made. The more I listened, the more I started to understand. After listening, I started to speak. I know it can be scary to speak a new language, but I told myself, it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning. The important thing is to keep trying. When I spoke, I practiced simple words first. I would speak in short sentences. It helped me build my confidence. Sometimes I didn't know how to say something, but I didn't stop. I tried again and again. Speaking every day helped me improve. Reading is another way to learn. I began reading simple books in English. Books with pictures were very helpful. They helped me understand the story. As I read, I saw new words. I learned what these words meant and how to use them. At first, I read small books. Over time, I started reading longer books. Reading helped me learn new words and made me feel better about speaking. Writing is also very important. Writing helps you remember what you learn. I started by writing about my day. I would write simple things like, "Today, I went to the park." Writing about my day helped me use new words. I didn't worry about making mistakes. I just wrote. The more I wrote, the better I became. Writing helped me learn how to use words in sentences. Watching videos is another fun way to learn English. Watching cartoons, movies, or shows in English helped me understand how people speak. I could hear how words are pronounced. I could see how people use words in conversations. Watching helped me learn how to speak like native speakers. I remember watching a cartoon about a dog. The dog was funny, and I learned new words while laughing. Talking to people is also helpful. If you have friends who speak English, talk to them. If you don't, you can find people online. There are many people who want to learn English too. You can help each other. I had a friend who spoke English very well. We talked every day. Sometimes I made mistakes, but my friend corrected me. She helped me learn. Speaking every day with her made me more confident. Sometimes learning English can feel hard, but remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Making mistakes helps you learn. If you keep practicing, you will get better. Don't give up. Be patient with yourself. Learning a new language takes time. It is normal to feel frustrated sometimes, but keep going and you will improve. Another important tip is to use a dictionary. A dictionary helps you understand new words. When I didn't know a word, I looked it up in my dictionary. Then I would practice saying the word. I would try to use it in a sentence. This helped me remember the word. You can carry a small dictionary with you. It will help you learn new words every day. Playing games is also a fun way to learn English. There are many games that help you learn new words. You can play word games, puzzles, or quizzes. I used to play word games with my friends. We would see who could find the most words. It was fun and helped me learn a lot of new words. Thinking in English is another tip. It might be hard at first, but it will help you a lot. When you think in English, you can speak faster. You won't have to translate everything in your head. At first, I had to translate every word into my language. But after a while, I started thinking in English. It became easier to speak, and I felt more confident. Another good tip is to set goals. When you set goals, you have something to work for. Start with small goals. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words each day. Or you can set a goal to read 1 page of a book each day. Reaching your goals will make you feel happy and proud. It will also keep you motivated. Reviewing what you learn is very important. When you review, you remember things better. I used to go over my notes every week. I would read them again and again. This helped me remember new words. It also helped me see how much I had learned. You should review what you learn every day. It will help you a lot. It is also important to stay positive. Learning English can be difficult, but if you stay positive, you will improve. Believe in yourself. You can do it. I had times when I felt sad or frustrated, but I told myself, I can do this. Staying positive helped me keep going. Lastly, enjoy the process. Learning English is a journey. It's not something you can finish in one day, but every day you will get better. Enjoy learning new words. Enjoy speaking and understanding. The more you enjoy it, the easier it will be. So, have fun with it. Learning English is exciting, and you will get better every day if you keep practicing. Chapter 3. When I first started learning English, I didn't know where to begin. I felt nervous and unsure. But I knew one thing. I had to keep going. So I took it one step at a time. The first thing I did was listen to English every day. I didn't understand everything, but that was okay. The important thing was to get used to the sounds of the language. I listened to songs, stories, and even simple podcasts. Slowly, I started recognizing words. It helped me feel more comfortable with English. At the same time, I tried speaking English. Speaking was hard at first. I felt afraid I might make mistakes. But I soon learned that making mistakes was normal. I started by saying simple things like, hello, or how are you? I practiced speaking every day. I spoke to myself at first. I would repeat words and sentences that I heard. Then, I started talking to my friends. If I didn't know a word, I would ask for help. The more I spoke, the easier it became. Speaking every day helped me feel more confident. Reading is another way to learn. I remember the first time I picked up a book in English. It was hard to understand, and I had to look up many words. But I didn't give up. I started with small books, ones with pictures. The pictures helped me understand the story. I began reading every day. The more I read, the easier it became. I learned new words and how to use them. Reading also helped me learn about different cultures. I found it very interesting and fun. Writing was also important for me. At first, I didn't know what to write, but I started with simple sentences. I wrote about my day or what I did. I didn't worry about making mistakes. I just wrote. Writing helped me remember words and use them in sentences. Over time, I began to write more. I started keeping a small notebook. Every day, I would write something in it. It didn't have to be long, just a few sentences. Writing helped me practice and improve. Watching videos helped me a lot too. I liked watching cartoons because they were simple and fun. I could hear the words clearly and see how people speak. I also watched English movies with subtitles. It was easier to understand what was happening, and I could follow along. Watching movies helped me hear how English is spoken in real life. I learned how people talk in different situations. It also made me learn new words in a fun way. Talking to people is one of the best ways to learn. I didn't have many friends who spoke English, but I found some online. I joined online groups where people wanted to learn English too. We would practice together. I learned a lot from them. We would help each other. I remember one of my friends corrected my mistakes. She was kind, and that made me feel better. Talking to others made me feel more confident. Learning a language takes time, and sometimes it feels slow. I would get frustrated sometimes, but I always reminded myself to be patient. It's important to be patient when learning something new. At first, it felt like I wasn't improving, but I kept practicing. Little by little, I got better. Every mistake I made helped me learn something new. So, don't rush. Take your time and enjoy the learning process. A dictionary is a very useful tool. Whenever I didn't understand a word, I would look it up. I used a small dictionary that I kept with me all the time. It helped me learn new words quickly. I also used an online dictionary. It was easy to find words and see how they are used in sentences. Sometimes I would repeat the words out loud to help remember them. The more I used the dictionary, the more words I learned. A dictionary is a great friend when you are learning English. Games can be fun and helpful too. I played word games and puzzles to practice English. I used apps that were designed for learning English. These games helped me learn without feeling like I was studying. One game I played was about finding words in a list of letters. It was fun, and I learned new words. The best part was that I didn't feel like I was working hard, but I was still learning. Thinking in English is another good tip. At first, I would think in my language and then translate to English. But that took time. Eventually, I started thinking directly in English. It felt strange at first, but it helped me speak faster and more clearly. When you think in English, you don't have to translate every word in your head. You just know what to say. It gets easier the more you practice. Setting goals help me stay focused. My first goal was to learn 10 new words every week. It was a small goal, but it made me feel good when I reached it. After that, I set a goal to read 1 page of a book every day. Reaching these small goals kept me motivated. It showed me that I was improving, and that made me happy. Reviewing what you learn is very important. I used to go over my notes every week. I would read them again and again to make sure I remembered what I learned. Reviewing helped me keep the new words and ideas in my mind. It also helped me see how much I had improved. So always take time to review what you learn. It will help you a lot. Staying positive is key. There were times when I felt like giving up. Learning English wasn't always easy, and I made many mistakes. But I always told myself, I can do this. When I stayed positive, I kept going. Even when things were hard, I knew that I could improve if I kept practicing. So, always believe in yourself. Stay positive, and you will see progress. Learning English takes time, patience, and practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They help you learn. Keep listening, speaking, reading, writing, and practicing every day. The more you practice, the better you will get. And remember, enjoy the journey. Learning English is exciting, and it will get easier with every step you take. Keep going, and you will succeed. Chapter 4. When I started learning English, I felt like I was moving slowly. It seemed hard to understand people. Sometimes I felt frustrated, but I didn't give up. I kept practicing every day. Little by little, I began to get better. I learned new words, and it made me happy. It felt like a small victory each time I understood something in English. One of the first things I did was listen to English. At first, it was hard to understand. The words were all new to me, but I kept listening every day. I listened to songs, stories, and even the news. The more I listened, the easier it became. I began to understand the sounds of the words. I could hear how the sentences were built. Listening helped me a lot because it gave me a chance to hear how native speakers talk. It helped me understand the rhythm and flow of English. The next thing I did was practice speaking. Speaking English was the hardest part for me. I was afraid of making mistakes, but I learned that making mistakes is okay. I started by saying simple things like, "How are you?" or "What's your name?" I practiced by speaking with myself. I would repeat words and sentences that I had heard. I even talked to my friends in English, even if I made mistakes. It was important to practice, and every time I spoke, I felt more confident. Reading was also a big help. When I first tried reading in English, I didn't know many words. I had to stop often to look up words in a dictionary. But I kept reading. I started with books that were easy. Books with pictures helped me understand the story. As I read more, I learned new words. I also learned how to use them in sentences. Reading helped me learn about different things. It helped me see how English is used in real life. Writing is important too. Writing helped me remember new words. I started by writing simple sentences. I wrote about my day or things I liked. It didn't matter if the sentences were short or not perfect. The important thing was to write. Every time I wrote, I used new words. I didn't worry about mistakes. I knew that writing would help me learn. Watching videos was another way I learned. I loved watching cartoons. They were simple and fun. I could hear how people spoke in English. The characters in the cartoons used easy words. I also watched movies with subtitles. It helped me follow along. Watching videos helped me learn new words and how to use them. It also helped me understand how people speak to each other in different situations. Talking to others is very important too. If you have friends who speak English, talk to them. If you don't, you can find people online. There are many people who want to practice English just like you. I remember talking to my friends online. We would help each other learn. Talking to them made me feel less afraid of making mistakes. I learned a lot from them. Sometimes, learning English felt difficult. There were times when I felt like I wasn't improving, but I learned that it's okay to feel that way. Learning takes time. It is important to be patient. I kept telling myself to keep going. Every day, I made a little progress. Slowly, I became better. The key is not to give up. If you keep practicing, you will get better, even if it feels slow at first. A dictionary was also a great help. Whenever I didn't know a word, I looked it up. I carried a small dictionary with me. I used it every day. It helped me understand new words. When I learned a new word, I practiced saying it. I also tried to use it in a sentence. The more I used the dictionary, the more words I learned. Games are another fun way to learn. I played word games on my phone. They helped me learn new words. There were also many apps that made learning fun. Some of them were like puzzles. I had to find the correct words, and that helped me learn. I remember playing a game where I had to find words hidden in a jumble of letters. It was fun, and I learned new words without even trying. Playing games helped me enjoy learning, and I learned a lot from them. Another tip is to think in English. At first, it was hard for me to think in English. I would translate from my language to English. But over time, I started to think in English. It was easier for me to speak when I thought in English. I didn't have to translate in my head anymore. I just knew what to say. Thinking in English helped me speak faster and more clearly. Setting goals was also a big help. I set small goals for myself. For example, I made a goal to learn 5 new words every week. It was a small goal, but it made me feel proud when I reached it. After that, I set a goal to read 1 page of a book in English every day. Reaching these goals made me feel like I was making progress. It kept me motivated to continue learning. Reviewing what I learned helped me too. Every week I went over my notes. I would read them again and again. Reviewing helped me remember words better. It also showed me how much I had learned. I saw that I was improving, and that made me happy. Staying positive is very important when learning a new language. There were times when I felt frustrated. It seemed like I would never get better, but I kept telling myself to stay positive. I told myself that learning English would take time, and that was okay. When I stayed positive, I kept going. I knew that if I kept practicing, I would get better. Lastly, enjoy the journey. Learning English is a process, and it's okay if it takes time. The more you enjoy it, the easier it will be. I remember having fun with the learning process. I liked learning new words and understanding stories. The more I enjoyed it, the faster I learned. So enjoy learning. It will make everything easier and more fun. Chapter 5. Learning English is like learning a new game. At first it feels strange, and you don't know how to play, but the more you practice, the better you get. I remember when I first started, it felt hard to remember words and sentences. I would forget what I learned, and that made me feel sad. But I didn't stop. I kept practicing, and slowly, things started to get easier. One important thing I did was listen to English every day. Listening helped me hear how words are said. It helped me understand what people were saying. At first, I didn't understand everything. But after a while, I began to catch some words. I would listen to songs, stories, and even watch TV shows. Listening every day helped me improve a lot. The more I listened, the better I became at understanding English. Another thing I did was speak English as much as I could. Speaking was difficult for me. I was afraid of making mistakes. But I learned that making mistakes is okay. When I made a mistake, I would learn from it. I kept talking to myself and repeating words. Then I started talking to my friends. Speaking every day helped me get better. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. Reading is also a big part of learning English. When I first started reading in English, it was hard. I didn't know many words, so I had to look them up in a dictionary. I started with books that were easy. Books with pictures were really helpful. The pictures helped me understand the story. As I read more, I started learning new words. I also learned how to use the words in sentences. Reading helped me improve my vocabulary and understanding. Writing was another way I learned. I started by writing small sentences. I wrote about my day or things I liked. Writing helped me remember words. It also helped me practice how to put words together in a sentence. I didn't worry about making mistakes when I wrote. I just kept writing. The more I wrote, the better I got. Writing every day helped me feel more confident with my English. Watching videos in English was also a fun way to learn. I liked watching cartoons because they were simple. The characters spoke slowly, and I could understand most of what they said. I also watched movies with English subtitles. It helped me understand what was happening, and I could read the words at the same time. Watching videos helped me learn new words and see how people speak in different situations. It also helped me understand the culture better. One of the most helpful things was talking to other people who were learning English too. I didn't have many friends who spoke English, but I found people online. We practiced together. Sometimes we would chat in English, and other times we would help each other learn. Talking to other learners helped me a lot. We shared tips, and I learned from their mistakes too. It was nice to know that I wasn't alone in learning English. I also learned that it's okay to feel frustrated. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't improving, but I kept reminding myself that learning a language takes time. Every small step counts. I knew that if I kept practicing, I would get better. It's important to be patient with yourself. Don't worry if things seem hard at first. Keep trying, and you will see improvement. A great tool for learning is a dictionary. Whenever I didn't know a word, I looked it up. I used a small dictionary that I carried with me. It helped me learn new words quickly. I also used an online dictionary. I could search for words anytime. When I found a new word, I would repeat it several times. I also tried to use it in a sentence. This helped me remember the word and how to use it. Playing games can also help you learn English. I used to play word games. They were fun, and I learned new words without even thinking about it. There are many apps that help you practice English. Some of them are like puzzles or quizzes. I liked playing a game where I had to match words with their meanings. It was fun, and I learned many new words that way. Another important tip is to think in English. At first, I had to translate everything in my head. It was slow and hard, but after some time, I started thinking directly in English. It helped me speak more quickly. I didn't have to stop and think about what I wanted to say. The more I thought in English, the better I became at speaking. Setting goals helped me stay focused. I started with small goals. For example, I wanted to learn 5 new words each week. It was a small goal, but it made me feel good when I reached it. Later, I set bigger goals, like reading a book in English. Every time I reached a goal, I felt proud of myself. Setting goals kept me motivated and helped me stay on track. Reviewing what I learned was very important. Every week, I would go over my notes and the words I had learned. I would look at my old writings and read them again. It helped me remember what I learned. Reviewing also showed me how much I had improved. It made me feel good to see how far I had come. Staying positive is one of the most important things in learning a language. Sometimes I felt like giving up because it was hard, but I reminded myself that learning English takes time. I told myself to keep going and not to give up. Staying positive helped me keep going, even when things were tough. It's important to believe in yourself. If you stay positive, you will get better at English every day. Lastly, enjoy the journey. Learning English is not just about studying. It's about having fun and discovering new things. The more you enjoy it, the easier it will be. I remember that when I had fun with learning, it didn't feel like work. It felt like an adventure. Enjoy every step of the process, and you will learn faster and with more joy. Keep practicing, and you will reach your goal. Chapter 6. Learning English is a journey. Sometimes it feels like you are going in circles, but every step you take brings you closer to your goal. There were days when I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do next, but I didn't stop. I kept going. Little by little, I got better. You will also get better if you keep trying. Don't give up, even when it feels hard. One important thing is to always listen. Listening is one of the best ways to learn. I listen to English every day. I listen to songs, radio, stories, and even watch TV shows. At first, I didn't understand much. The words sounded strange. But I kept listening, and slowly, I started to hear more words. After some time, I could understand most of what I heard. Listening helped me understand how words are said and how sentences are built. It also helped me learn how to speak better. Speaking English is important too. I know it can be scary to speak in front of people, but the more you practice, the easier it will get. I was afraid of making mistakes, but I learned that making mistakes is part of the process. I spoke as much as I could. I practiced by myself at first. Then, I started talking to my friends. They helped me correct my mistakes. Speaking helped me feel more confident. Every time I spoke, I learned something new. Reading is another way to improve. I started with easy books. Books with pictures were the best. The pictures helped me understand the story better. As I read, I learned new words. I also learned how to use these words in sentences. Reading helped me improve my vocabulary. It also helped me understand how English works. I read more and more. The more I read, the better I became. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just keep reading, and you will improve. Writing is also important. At first, I was scared to write. I was afraid I would make too many mistakes. But I started writing every day. I wrote about simple things, like what I did that day. I didn't worry about mistakes. Writing helped me practice using new words. It also helped me understand how to form sentences. The more I wrote, the better I got. Writing gave me confidence because I could see how much I had improved. Watching videos and cartoons helped me too. Watching English videos is fun. I watched cartoons because they were simple. The characters spoke slowly so I could understand. I also watched movies and shows with English subtitles. It helped me understand what was happening, and I could follow along with the words. Watching videos also helped me learn new words. It was a great way to learn and have fun at the same time. Talking to people who speak English is very important. I didn't have many friends who spoke English, but I found some people online. We would talk and practice together. Talking to others helped me get better. Sometimes we would make mistakes, but that was okay. We learned from each other. If you don't have anyone to talk to, try finding someone online. There are many people who want to learn English too. There will be times when you feel frustrated. You may think you are not improving. I remember feeling that way sometimes, but I kept reminding myself that learning takes time. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel like you are not getting better right away. Just keep practicing. If you keep going, you will improve. Remember, every step counts, no matter how small it is. One tool that really helped me was a dictionary. Every time I didn't know a word, I would look it up. I carried a small dictionary with me. It helped me learn new words quickly. I also used an online dictionary. Whenever I found a new word, I would repeat it out loud. I would try to use it in a sentence, too. The more I used the word, the better I remembered it. A dictionary is a great tool for learning. Always have one with you. It will help you a lot. Playing games is another fun way to learn English. I played word games and quizzes on my phone. They helped me learn new words without feeling like I was studying. Sometimes I played with my friends. We would play a game where we had to find as many words as we could. It was a fun way to practice, and I learned a lot. There are many apps and websites where you can play games to learn English. It's a great way to have fun while learning. Thinking in English is very helpful. At first, I had to translate everything in my head. It was slow, and it felt hard. But over time, I started thinking in English. It made speaking easier. I didn't have to stop and think about what to say. I just knew. It may be hard at first, but keep practicing. The more you think in English, the easier it will become. Setting goals is important too. Setting small goals will help you stay focused. I started by setting goals like learning 5 new words every week. I also set a goal to read 1 page of a book every day. These small goals helped me feel proud when I reached them. After I reached my goals, I would set new ones. Each time I reached a goal, I felt like I was making progress. It kept me motivated to keep going. Reviewing what you learn is important. I would look at my notes every week and go over the words I had learned. I would also look at my old writings. It helped me remember things better. Reviewing also helped me see how much I had improved. It's a good idea to go over what you learned, even if it feels boring. It will help you remember the words and sentences. Staying positive is one of the best things you can do while learning English. It's easy to feel frustrated or want to give up, but staying positive helps you keep going. Tell yourself that you can do it. Keep going, even when things are hard. When you stay positive, you'll feel motivated to continue learning. Believe in yourself. You can do it.